What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight's video I kind of wanted to throw together. I had got this new tool bag and I was going to convert the stuff over from my old tool bag, and just kind of wanted to go over it. It's kind of a review of the Dewalt tool backpack, I guess, and why I use the tool backpack. What are the other bags that I've used for doing home repair and construction, and how much it costs, and what are the benefits of it. I've used a variety of different tool bags. For those of you who don't know, I do construction on a day-to-day basis, and that backpack goes in and out of every job with me every single day. I have had that backpack for around 3.5 years, and it's held up really well. That's why there's another one sitting here next to it. And I'm going to just kind of go over it and break it down and show you the things that I use on a day-to-day basis. I do kind of a mixture of different repair work. It could be anything from cabinet install to I do minor plumbing repair. Sometimes it's major plumbing if we're remodeling a bathroom or something like that at one of our flips. As well as electrical repair. Now, not every one of those things is in that bag, but I've kind of condensed it down to what I can most likely get in and out of a job with and make as few trips back to the van as possible. So I'll break it down. I'll kind of drag everything out of the old backpack, show you what all that I have had in there, and we'll kind of work on converting it over to the new bag and why I carry the tools that I do. Just for essential use, or what can get me through a day's work and save as many trips back to the vehicle. This would also be probably really good for someone who does a lot of their own home repair around the house, that you could condense some things down tool-wise that would be just kind of an all-in-one bag or tote that you could kind of come in and out of the house with and make as few trips back to the garage as possible. I mean, most people don't want to spend any more time than they have to on trips in and out, and would rather get the project done and move on to the next thing. And that's kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis as I'm moving in and out of different homes. So we'll get this opened up. I'll break it down and we'll show you what I've got inside of the backpack. These are just some things that I've got stuck in the front of the pouch here. I don't keep this stuff in there all the time. I do keep a couple of screwdrivers. Also keep some plumbing tape, just pencil sharpener, some other things right up here in the front that I may just grab without having to open the backpack. And then I'll keep some extra writing utensils, an extra razor knife, and a flashlight on the side. But the zipper, the only thing that's failed on the bag for me is I had lost one zipper that came completely off, and then in the process the zipper itself started to continue to separate, and the clasp broke, and I was having to open it with pliers and close it with pliers. So I've went ahead and ordered the new backpack. So that's going to be pretty much everything, what it kind of looks like, and I generally stack this stuff up here. Now I'm going to clean up and condense a few of these items as I move them into the new bag. Stuff that I've kind of intended on doing for a little while. And we can kind of go over the stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis. And then some of the other things that I keep that are in the front pouch here, and I'll go over all that stuff as well. I'll get all of this stuff spread out on the bench, and we'll work on putting it in the new bag. Okay guys, here's what I pretty much wind up with in that pack once I get it loaded down. I'll kind of go over everything that I use. Obviously you could tailor this in any way to things that suit you better for like I said, if you're a handyman and you work around your house, or if you do this for a living. Now I do, like I said, we kind of have a variety of different things that we do with our business. We do home inspection repairs for new real estate, but we also do, like I said, a fair amount of our own renovations, remodels. That would be baths as well as basements and things like that, and some minor exterior work. But this is what gets me through, in most cases, a normal day. I keep a vinyl tool in there, like I said, for the inspection repairs, stuff like that. I keep a drywall saw, obviously, for anything I may need to do by hand. Bigger jobs, obviously, I'll get out more power tools. I keep like I said, I do plumbing work, so I keep a fair amount of channel locks, a pair of side snips for some tin work if I'm rerouting a dryer duct or something like that. These are miter shears. A lot of people have never seen these, but what they are is they allow you to cut shoe mold, a lot of other things, small scribe molding, stuff like that, especially the PVC moldings. And it gives you some angles on there so that you can do a 45 or a 22.5, different stuff for running base and trim, which we do quite a bit of. Let's see. I carry a pair of needle nose pliers with me. Obviously some crescent wrenches for the plumbing work, a plexiglass cutter if we've got to repair a small basement window or something like that for a repair. I carry my my hammer and a full-size pry bar in the bag. I have a separate tote, or not a tote, but a pouch for all of my electrical tools, but I do just keep a spare pair of wire strippers in the bag for any kind of need if I'm just doing something and I need something quickly. A small hand saw. I keep an assortment of chisels in the bag. I keep one junky chisel for just stuff that I need to do something quick, but I don't want to damage my good chisels and mess the edge up. I keep a couple of extensions in the bag as well for reaching stuff back in the cabinet or whatever, and same for the right angle drill attachment. A couple of small speed squares, obviously an assortment of nut drivers and different things and different bits that I may use on the job. And then I keep paddle bits as well as some regular metal bits. All the bits that I keep in the bag, what I've done is I just keep my impact in the bag. But so everything that I have in here I can use and run with 1/4-inch drive. That way if I need to do a drilling task, I don't have to go in or out unless I'm doing a lot, and then I may switch over to the drill, but it kind of will get me through most situations. The metal bits are the same way, they're a 1/4-inch drive. So I've got a charger battery that I keep in the bag for that. I keep a small, just one of the organizer cases in there. I keep some extra cabinet hardware screws. If you're doing any sort of plumbing work, it's always handy to have some 1/2-inch shark bite stops, extra O-rings for plumbing repairs, some low voltage fuses for thermostats. I got some angle stair gauges in there. If you're doing mini sink and cabinet repairs, these are great to have. These are 3/8 fine thread caps that I keep in here. A lot of times when we tear out vanities and stuff, you can't get the water to quit leaking, especially on a lot of your old gate valves. Let's see what else we got here. So obviously I keep a chalk line. That is a wrench for doing the garbage disposal. I keep generally just a small organizer with some random hardware in it. That way if I just need a quick screw or something like that, I don't have to go out to the van. Let's see. I keep just a real plain tap set in there in case I should have to tap a piece of metal or chase some threads. That doesn't happen very often. Auto cutter for 1/2-inch pipe and a regular tubing cutter. I keep a plumb bob and some string line in there, especially if I'm running any sort of stair stringers or treads or something like that. Then we're not treads, but skirt boards. So I keep just a real plain stud finder in my bag. I've found these are a lot easier than try to keep up with battery operated stud finders. These are just very simple. works off 2 magnets. You slide it around on the wall. Once you find a piece of metal, it'll just hang via the magnet on the wall. Keep a spare headlamp. Let's see. Some Allen wrench assortments. These are wrenches that come with faucets and fixtures that I've found handy in other places that I hang on to. Torpedo level, obviously some punch sets, some small micro screwdrivers for towel bars, things like that. Like I said, an 11-in-1 screwdriver, Gorilla Glue, don't use it a whole lot. Some appliance touch-up, just standard white touch-up paint, and I also keep some stain markers in case we're doing flooring. I keep all my plumbing tape, as well as pipe dope. I keep a speed level, or not a speed level, I'm sorry. I keep a angle finder in there that, you know, if we're doing any sort of trim work or I've got to find a funky angle, then I've got it in there. As a sanding sponge for if I'm just doing some small minor drywall work or I need to knock the edge off a piece of wood. I'm going to take that torpedo level out of the bag, and that pretty much covers what can get me through any normal day on the job. And I'll start putting this stuff in the bag. I'll kind of try to wrap the video up, and I'll tell you about what the bag costs if this is something that you're interested in. One of the advertised features on the backpack is that it has this light that folds in or out. I find it to be a little novelty-ish. I've turned it on a few times when I first got the other backpack, but I don't use it a whole lot. One of the favorite things that I like about the backpack is when you have it loaded down or you're working out of it, it will unzip and lay completely open, so that way you can get to everything in the bag and you're not trying to reach down in it and you're not real confined. But one of the major things that I like about it is it has this Velcro loop I use all the time. As soon as I got the backpack, I knew what it would work for me, and I keep my hammer and a full-size pry bar right inside of the backpack, which a lot of tool bags are going to restrict you on, and that keeps everything up out of the way. And I just find that this combination works really well for me. So there you basically have it, guys. That's kind of how I stack everything in the pack. That's how I fit it in there. They're a little stiff once you first get one as far as trying to get everything in it and get it closed up, but it will close up this way. I'll show it to you on the video. But like I said, most of these things get me through a normal day's task with very minimal trips back to the van to get something else. Especially if it's just a minor repair or something like that. You know, there's many reasons that I like working out of the backpack. As you can kind of see what I mean, as far as it lays almost completely opened up, so that way, and it stands in the center, so you can kind of work out of it, but you're not too confined as far as trying to reach down into a tool bag, which is some of the issues I have with like the bucket organizers and other things. Well, there you have it, guys. That's kind of why I use the backpack. Hopefully that helps a few people, especially people at home. Because of the variety of stuff that we do, I felt like if you were using this on you know, a weekly basis or a monthly basis around your house, that gives you a pretty good scope of things that you would be able to have in a bag and be able to do a repair at your house. And not have to make too many trips, you know, in or out. Same thing if you're in the construction world. Maybe this gives somebody some ideas of, you know, a different way that they may want to set up their, you know, set up their gear. But I've used a variety of different stuff. I actually have one right here. These are, you know, I keep it literally. I never pick this up. It just sits on the shelf in the garage. But these are great, and you can get a lot of tools and stuff in them. But you're stuck with pulling that weight unevenly anywhere you go and anything you do. You can throw it over your shoulder, but it's still kind of the same thing. It's a lot of weight on one side. And I don't feel like it's anywhere near as comfortable to work out of. And it just leaves me kind of tied up while I'm trying to get in or out of the job. The thing that I like about the backpack is I can put it on, I can grab a few other tools, or I can grab a bucket with some plumbing supplies or some other material. I can pack lumber. I can do a variety of different things with having the backpack on. I get some funny responses and jokes from time to time when I show up to do a repair, and people, oh, you going camping, or the Boy Scouts here? Just funny things, and people are just kidding. But when they actually see the backpack opened up and how many tools I bring into the house and how many fewer trips I make in and out of the house to make that repair or to do the project, they completely change their idea and tune of, man, I may have to go that route, or I may need to get one of those if they do any kind of, you know, work on their own. But, you know, I like the Dewalt tools. They work for what we do. I feel that they're a bit more geared for the carpentry side of stuff, which is I guess more heavily the way that we lean to. Because I do some more mechanical work like plumbing and electric, there's obviously a few advantages to Milwaukee and some of the other tool companies, but there's nothing that I've really found that Dewalt doesn't make that I can't make, adapt, or fit those needs that I have. You know, they finally have came out with one of the single hand operated Sawzalls, which was really the last tool that I was waiting for to be able to do more mechanical based work with Dewalt tools. But, you know, for the most part, like I said, they don't make anything that doesn't work for the type of work that we do. It really suits I guess the type of construction that we do, and I understand that everybody's got their take on different manufacturers and stuff like that, but DeWalt really comes through for us. I haven't had virtually a single problem out of any of my tools, and most of these have been running for every day for around the same time, if not a bit longer than that backpack has, around the 4-year range, and I haven't had anything really give up on me or fail. I had to have a drill warranted at one point, and it was nothing to do with the motor on the drill. The truck locked up. So, you know, everything gets used very heavily. Some of the things I don't keep with me every day. I don't pack the miter saw in and out of every job just because a lot of times, unless we're running a lot of heavy trim work, I just don't need it. Fan, some other stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown on, you know, why I work out of a backpack, how much more efficient you can be. You don't have to do it as for a profession, but, you know, even just the standard homeowner, and how somebody can maybe kind of set their tooling up to where it makes their life a little easier and more beneficial when they're doing their work. So we appreciate you checking these videos out. As I usually say, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, share, comment down below. I'll be coming out with some other things here soon. I'm still in the middle of videotaping and getting the tractor work completed, so that's in the works and should be coming out here before too long. I know I've said that on a few videos here recently, but it's just been kind of slow getting things coming through the mail and getting ordered with all of the situations and hurdles that we've got going on right now. But that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, hopefully hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.